Taking on life.
Teen Edition.
With your hosts, Marissa, Olivia, and Aislinn.
This week we will be addressing the coronavirus pandemic that is currently happening worldwide.
Hi, I'm Marissa.
I'm Olivia.
And I'm Aislinn.
Here's Marissa talking about our thought process while making each video.
Each video will consist of breaking news that are affecting teens worldwide, grieving, influencing teens worldwide, and just being able to chill and talk. Don't be surprised if it's a one-on-one podcast or we have a special guest.
So guys, what are your thoughts on the coronavirus pandemic?
Okay, so my thoughts on the coronavirus pandemic is it's a big deal. Like, I don't think, especially like to us teenagers, it's definitely more of a joke, but to be fair, it's like only 2% of us, I don't even think even, are being infected.
Yeah.
But it is concerning that there is 559,409 confirmed cases in just the U.S. alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty big number.
And over 22,000 deaths.
Yeah, and it's especially concerning because there is currently no vaccine to prevent the coronavirus disease, and I'm sure it's going to be taking at least 6 months just to find something that might work, and then you have to test that for 3 months.
And even with all the confirmed cases, only 33,000 have even recovered, just over.
Oh, wow.
The death toll is getting higher than each day than the recovering toll, which is getting even worse.
And a lot of people are not like staying home during this pandemic. Like, I've seen if me and my family have to go out to a grocery store to get the necessities that we need for each week, there's a bunch of cars out. Like, it's
Yeah, and people are at the park skating.
I see people actually at my local park.
The amount of rates of death rates are increasing rapidly. Like, it's getting higher each day. It's not going to stay the same number.
And I love actually I've seen a whole bunch of videos about like washing hands and stuff, with the people wearing gloves and then putting the paint on their hands and showing how to properly wash your hands to make sure they're fully cleaned. I think those videos are actually pretty interesting.
And let's all face it, we have not been washing our hands enough.
I mean, yeah, the past.
Yeah, like I probably wash my hands as normally as I usually do every day, maybe once more.
Yeah, that's what I do.
The only thing I changed is I hand sanitize my hands as soon as I get up in the morning.
I definitely use a lot more hand sanitizer. I used to never use hand sanitizer, but now I'm using it 24/7. And like I see a lot of people in stores with like face masks and stuff, which
is good. Yeah.
They're perfect. But when I see people out with the gloves, that kind of concerns me, especially because I see a lot of people like touching a lot of stuff with the gloves and then touching, I don't know, something in their
face
or
their face or anything like that.
So gloves are really not doing much for you unless you're changing them out every single
time. They're really only doing more for yourself, I guess.
I mean,
unless you're touching your face. But if you go in your purse, touch stuff, and then touch a cereal box and then put it back on the shelf, like, it's infected. It's infected. We need, when you're like, those little gripping things that people use when they like break like one of like their neck or they're unable to use their hands. Those little we need those. Just imagine everyone in like Target like walking around with those.
Yeah, that would
actually kind of be funny, but that's not supposed to be memeing, but it's funny.
Yeah. But yeah,
you can really tell the East Coast has been really hit hard in the United States. It is. I'm looking at a chart and it does not look good, especially knowing that New York, which is on the East Coast, has the most fatalities and confirmed cases.
Yeah, New York was hit hard.
They have 9,385, and then below is New Jersey with only 2,000. Like 2,000 is a lot of people.
The thing with the cities and states, where their cities and stuff, like their houses are clustered together, like New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
My mom told me this is the one time I'm gonna tell you that it was better to be in the country than the city. Because at heart, she says she's a city girl and she's never lived in the city.
Yeah. Well, the thing with the cities, like New York City, literally their houses are literally like apartments and they're on top of each other. Like, like literally everybody's on top of each other.
And you're walking and not everyone has cars in New York, so you're just walking.
Yeah. Like I said, like everybody's on top of each other. It's like, it's a busy city.
Yeah, U.S. has been just hit the hardest. But, like, I guess there is good coming out of it. Not saying there's not. Like, there's been a lot more community work, and it's
but, like,
good to see.
A really good thing about this all is it's opening people's eyes of how, like, you know how 9/11 really affected a lot of people's lives and how they started doing all of the, like, when you fly on a plane, there's so much more security compared to what it used to be. This is now going to open us up to show it, like, people are now going to actually wash their hands properly, so I hope people are going to, like, take into effect of, like, these different diseases and, like, I don't know, it's just going
to also think about that us teenagers weren't really, even if we were around at 9/11, those people wouldn't remember, and most of them are adults by now, and we never lived through it.
No.
If you were born after like 2002, which is most of the teen, because at 2002 this year you guys are turning 18, so technically I count you're out of the teen squad, but you could still listen to our podcast.
Yeah. I mean, everyone can listen to our podcast. This is like
I don't know why a 9-year-old person wants to listen to our podcast, but you can. Watch my grandmother just start listening to our podcast.
I mean, another good thing about the coronavirus, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but there is something, the air pollution in California has decreased because the air pollution has been horrible over there, but since this whole coronavirus, everybody's staying inside and there's no more air pollution.
The planet's thanking us right now.
The planet, the Earth is healing a little bit because Earth was polluted horribly, but it's starting to heal. Like there's some extinct animal, like not extinct animals. I'm sorry, excuse me. Animals like, that are endangered that are coming back, like turtles, like the sea turtles. I'm trying to think of one, but I just don't remember. They're making a comeback.
Yeah.
Some of the endangered animals are making a comeback, and that's really good.
But can you believe globally there's like 1.85 million cases? I just saw that, and that is
it's a lot.
And US is like half of it.
Yeah.
Like
it's crazy because China actually kept this from us for a long time because they had cases dated back to October of 2019. They've had some people here and there with this disease. They didn't think it was going to get this out of control.
Yeah, my stepdad thought he had it because he had back in January, before it really hit the U.S., he got something so similar to what the people now are feeling. And it was like almost like the flu, but it wasn't that bad. But it just was around for a bit. Like it was around for multiple days. So I wonder if the coronavirus was around then, and he actually works at the hospital, so somebody coming in like thinking they had the flu got it to him.
Yeah, that could be possible. And I mean, for anyone who out there who thinks they could possibly have it, of course, the what's it called? Like the
just go to your local hospital.
Symptoms of it would be
get tested. Go to them on the drive up. Okay. But to tell teenagers, you guys, we're at like the lowest risk possible to get it. Since we are. Especially people under the age of 20, we are less likely, unless you have underlying medical conditions like diabetes, asthma, or a terrible immune system.
And to those people who are having some symptoms of the coronavirus. I know where I live, the hospital, they're having like a drive-through thing. So you get swabbed up. Well, of course, you get swabbed up your nose. I heard it's very painful. But it's a drive-through because you gotta stay social distanced from each other. So they're literally having a drive-through from the hospital, and I think it's so crazy, but it's what it's come to. Because and they're starting to stock up on hospital beds, which is good. So yeah.
Yeah, but they're not saying there has been teenagers that have died, but looking at it, most of them have medical conditions like diabetes or.
And another thing I want to add is like the ratio to men to women. More women are infected than men because it attacks. I don't know. I just like.
But if you also note, there have been statistics saying more African Americans have been getting it over than, at least in our state, more African Americans were more likely to get it over than white people.
Yeah.
And like we looked at our county, and literally it was like our ratio was so bad. And now, in some county and some states, they're actually letting you see how bad the coronavirus is in your zip code, which I think is cool. I've seen a few states been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just look up to see if your state's doing it, and it's really cool to see like well, it's not cool, but like it's educational to see how much is affected in your area.
Yeah.
But this is a scary time, and I think what we need to talk about on our chat, because we're just talking numbers right now, and we all know I do love myself some numbers, but not that much. I also like myself a face mask, but I don't have any. Ooh. Used my last one last night. But I'm sorry, so unprofessional, but I love my face mask. Ow. Okay.
But yeah, I think a lot of people have to take into effect of how serious this actually is, and people are slowly understanding, oh wow, this is actually a serious pandemic going on. It's not just some game. Like a lot of people at the start, I knew a lot of people thought, well, it's not going to get too bad where I live. It's not going to get that bad. But
it's bad.
Yeah,
if your state hasn't hit it, it'll get bad.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure every state has gotten hit.
I think one small state that doesn't like have a lot of people going in or out of it didn't have.
Wait, I can look.
I'm pretty sure West Virginia doesn't really have any.
No, they do.
West Virginia was the last to get the
Wow.
Get the virus. They were the last state. I can look at the states right now because I'm actually interested. The least likely, the only Wyoming. Wyoming's under Alaska, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Alaska has more cases than Wyoming.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Which, I guess it's more in the populated areas of Alaska. But Wyoming's had no deaths so far, and at least half their people have recovered. While Alaska is looking even worse with the people that have recovered, and they've had 8 deaths.
Yeah, a lot of people have recovered from the coronavirus. A lot of people are,
not a lot of people right now have fully recovered. Only 33,000 of the 559,000 have recovered.
Oh, wow.
So you can't really say. And 22,000 of them have died. So there's still 500,000 more people that are still having corona right now.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, but luckily for everywhere, there's always less deaths than the recoveries, which is nice. But yet again, there are a lot of deaths. Worldwide, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands.
But I do want to get on this because this is supposed to help teens, and I think we should go over ways to reduce your coronavirus anxiety, because some people have a lot of anxiety over this of the unknowing.
Yeah. And I mean, if you wash your hands, like, they say 20 seconds, but I feel like
do more.
20 seconds, I feel like, I don't know. It depends on how, like, you wash your hands.
Yeah.
If you do it correctly, it shouldn't take any time to wash your hands. But it should take at least like a minute or like 30 seconds to a minute to wash your hands correctly. But I think in the link for our YouTube, I might link a video of how to properly wash your hands if anyone
down
is
below
willing to watch. So in the description down below, I will link a video on how to properly.
But since this is a teen thing, I think we need to go over anxiety, because even these are just ways to relieve normal anxiety, so that is always great. So
anxiety is
really
bad.
It sucks.
It's a lot of teens are diagnosed with it. It's a lot.
But we're going to find ways to relieve it. So one of the ways you can relieve it is practicing good self-care. Like making sure you exercise, eat well, get enough sleep. If you pull an all-nighter like us, please sleep the next day. And also make sure you're giving your skin a bit of a treatment, because we all know it's not seen enough sun, because during this quarantine no one's gone out. So that is an important thing.
Yeah, and make sure you are going outside to get some sun.
Yes, and the next thing is actually going on a walk. So,
and even if you do go outside, make sure you take proper precautions of your surroundings. So social distancing, even if you take a walk.
And when you go like through your grocery stores and stuff, don't touch everything you see, kind of thing. Because I'm one of those people who like have to be fidgeting with something or like doing something at every moment. So like right now I'm bouncing my leg because I just have to be doing something. So if you're one of those people in stores, just, I don't know, maybe like carry a fidget spinner, do whatever you want to do to keep you from touching other stuff. Because that's a big thing too. Is just touching and then touching like a cereal box and then
putting it back down. Yeah.
And then putting that cereal box back and then touching something else. It just keeps spreading.
And try not to touch your face as much. Try not to put your hands in your mouth. Don't touch your eyes. Don't like rub them. Rub your eyes with cold water or with like a paper towel. Don't like touch your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, anything, because that's where the virus can occur from. Because I don't know, I can't really explain it, but yeah. So try not to touch your face.
If there's any actual parents out here watching our podcast, I'm not sure if there will be. And if you're worried about how your child is responding, like if you can't tell if they're stressed out or not, just pay attention to how they act around you. Maybe like, let's say if they get headaches a lot, like not saying that is being caused by stress, but a lot of headaches are caused by stress. Or if they're staying in their room 24/7, they could just be stressed out. So just make sure you keep up on that with your child.
Yeah, but also if you're a teen and you need to, like, sometimes making a joke out of the coronavirus can help you. But don't make it super personal towards people. Don't make it political.
Yeah,
no one likes political. Like I see all over TikTok when people want like a political thing, and it turns out like it's just not really that funny. Yeah. But like if you want to make a joke about like toilet paper, then I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Try not to make jokes on people's religions or political, because it's their personal information and it could trigger something. So try to stay away from religion and stuff.
Let's get back on track about how to relieve your anxiety. So another thing is make sure you... Dude, let me talk, ma'am.
Oh my God, okay.
I have a list. Man, I've been working this list. so unprofessional, but sorry, guys. Make sure you limit your screen time. I know you just want to look at your phone all day, but it's going to keep you up, and it's going to make you feel bad. It's going to make you feel sick. And also, but I want to do the next one too before you guys add anything, is make sure you plan, don't panic. Know what to do when something happens catastrophic. And even for your next, if there's another pandemic like this, have a plan for if something like this happens. Like what are you going to do? And make sure know what your parents' plan is too. Like, there's always a chance something may happen to them. Especially at this point, if you're a teenager and you're worried about your parents, just talk to them. But a lot of people are home right now just because they're not at jobs. But like for people that have parents that are doctors, it's a little bit worrying because my mom and stepdad are doctors, so they're out. Like my stepdad actually works at the hospital, so it's always a little nerve-wracking because he can either bring the corona home to me, or he could get the corona, or we both get corona.
And either way. Go ahead.
I have nothing else to say, but I have more on the list, though.
Okay. Well, I also want to say this isn't about stress and stuff. Well, it could follow along with it, but if you guys are looking for something to do, you're bored in the house, I'll leave another link in the description for like top 10 video, like a video of top 10 or something to do while you're in lockdown, because I know it can get really boring. Just make sure you do your schoolwork and stuff, because that's like gonna be a big priority.
It's your top priority.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also just watch Legally Blondes because it's good. Both. I like Legally Blonde better. It's hilarious. Bends and snap. But okay, going on to the list. The next one is try meditation or yoga, because that will help relieve stress so much easily, and it's so like calming. Like, who doesn't want to just like take a minute, take a chill pill, get a glass of like hot green tea or hot cocoa, whatever you prefer.
Whatever you like, yeah.
But this is a big one. Make sure you do stay social. Like how we like been on a call every day right now, and we just decided to make this podcast. So it's actually turning out to be a lot of fun. But make sure you keep updated with your friends, because it's very important. Because you could lose friends over this break, and you don't want to do that unless they fake. If they fake, boot them out the window.
Yeah.
That's my motto. If they fake, you boot them out the window. Thank you. I thought of it in like a second. So, and then the last one is focus on what you can control. You can control your schedule. Like when you wake up, you can control your habits. You can control the amount of times you wash your hands. Or you can control the fact if you're taking your vitamins, which can't stress enough, take them vitamins.
Yeah.
But you can control that.
Yeah, make sure you're just staying safe and healthy. It's like that's just the biggest priority.
And I also want to talk about dealing with school for the last few minutes of our podcast. Because school, either you have it really good where your teachers are giving you like barely anything, or you have it really bad where your teachers are loading you down, and online school is getting harder than regular school. Or you have Zoom classes, which my heart's out to you because I don't have those. My teachers don't believe in Zoom classes. But we need, because it's getting stressful, the fact, and I feel bad for all the seniors out there who don't have graduation or their last prom or anything. But with school, you should have, like, you need to have a set schedule. Because one of the most important things school teaches you, the only good thing is having a schedule in your life.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The schedules make everything better and make you feel more productive.
And more organized.
And actually, like, because I know a lot of people are stopping with their hygiene. Just because you're not going out, just because you're not being social with people, please take your daily showers or your every other day showers, whatever you
Take
do.
care of yourself.
Showers. Exactly. Make sure like you're still
and
fresh.
Make sure you do treat yourself to like a bath bomb or a face mask, which I'm really missing right now.
Yeah, like make sure you're keeping your hygiene up. Like that's just a big thing.
And make sure you drink a lot of tea because tea is really good, or coffee.
Actually,
Drink,
water.
yeah,
And
drink
Postmate
whatever.
I'm just gonna say Postmate yourself Dunkin'.
Oh my gosh.
I love Dunkin'. An iced latte, like an iced mocha latte is amazing.
Definitely keep yourself hydrated, because the one thing that you don't want is becoming dehydrated and then going to the hospital because nobody could see you in the hospital. You'll be there by yourself until this pandemic is over.
Yeah.
And nobody could visit you. So
And
be
maybe
careful.
Also, start like writing on a journal or a planner, because
That's what I'm doing, and it's really helping.
I pulled out a planner I bought last year, saying I was gonna write in it, never did. And I just found it, and I've been planning out stuff in the day, like when I'm doing.
And I've been like writing in a diary too, like of everything that's been going on, just to keep track of just life in general.
Think about it. In the future, we're gonna be laughing at this. Yeah. Because Gen Z, it's everywhere. Gen Z, we know everything's coming. It doesn't surprise us anymore. But after you do tasks, make sure you do reward yourself, because this is a hard time and you're going to feel so unmotivated during this time. Like, I've cleaned my room about 8 times. Like, it's bad. Like, if I'm cleaning my room, it's bad.
Is there anything you would like to say, Aislinn? Because I know you haven't really...
Yeah, you've been, like, so quiet for you.
Marissa's talking a lot in this podcast. But...
Yeah, I have all the numbers, though.
Yeah.
Well, Aislinn wasn't talking the last one either.
Well, I mean, you guys like to vent. Like, it's
Aislinn's just there to put her opinion in when needed.
Yeah, I just don't like to... I don't know. I just don't like to talk much. I don't know.
But do you have anything else to say? Because it's important. If you have anything you really want to stress on, make sure you say it.
Just social distance. That's all I gotta say. Because
Aislinn's number one priority is social distancing.
Well, that's your like everyday life priority, even without Corona.
Yeah, I always social distance. I've been social distancing since I was little.
I don't want this pandemic to be longer than it needs to be, and it's literally going to be unnecessary if it's really long because people are dumb and going out. Sorry, I have to state my opinion.
But I also have to mention this meme because it's really funny. So it says flexing in March 2019. There's a pair of AirPods like opened, and then it says flexing in March 2020. A little tiny Purell's hand sanitizer.
Oh my gosh, that's true though.
But it's funny. Like, that is the memes you can make. Like, they're amazing. Like, like Olivia's always down.
So, do you guys want to wrap this
I think we're gonna wrap up this podcast for.
I pronounced it wrong.
Anything? Does Olivia have anything you want to say?
No, I think we've covered up a good amount. I mean, if we think of anything else, of course, it's gonna come up.
All I want to say is, if you have any memes, please DM our Instagram, which is in the description down below, because I love my memes. And Olivia's always down for a good meme.
Yep. So I'll leave the descriptions down below for things to do when you're bored. The description, the link. I mean, not description.
Yeah,
things
I'm leaving
to do
the link in the description.
And then the link for how to properly wash your hands and when to properly wash your hands. And then our Instagram, I will leave the username down below in the description.
All right, well, this is the time for me and Olivia to sign off while Aislinn does our new outro, which I think you guys will like. So, see you guys, and please follow my motto and send me memes, and don't be flexing your face mask on me.
Yeah.
Olivia, you have to give a better outro.
We each have
Okay, Olivia says bye. Okay, he's like, cue the outro.
Well, hope you all enjoyed this week's podcast. Stay tuned for next week's. Peace.